Good afternoon, friends. This is Scott, and I'm here with my wife, Carrie, who many of you know as the Chatty Dragonfly. And we're here today to talk about two books that I know you've really enjoyed reading this spring. The first is called Bread and Wine, and the second is Present Over Perfect, both by a wonderful author, Shauna Niequist, who has just written a great couple of books here on being present and how we really come together. But why don't we just start off with you sharing with your viewers what's really meant so much to you about these two books?
Well, these two books were recommended by a couple of friends, and they could not have come at a better time for me. I think I was just beginning to know that life was getting frantic and busy, and if I did not take a stand and do something about it, it was going to continue that way. And so Present Over Perfect for me was just being able to find God's calling for my life. And in order to know how to do that, it takes practice, it takes stillness, it takes time to really hear what He has designed your life to be. And then Bread and Wine, who doesn't love those two things? I love food, and I love gathering around the table and connecting with friends and loved ones. In our kitchen, we have a sign that says gather, and when life happens around the table, really authentic relationships and connections happen.
What would you hope, if anybody read this book for themselves, what would you hope that they really take away from reading this?
That God has such a plan for your life, and if we don't take the moments and the quietness to find that out, then it's just not going to happen. And I needed to know how to be fully present in my family, in my work life, and my business. And Present Over Perfect was about that. It was about finding my authentic self and how God wanted to use me. And Bread and Wine, she has these beautiful stories about her friends and her supper club, and then these amazing recipes at the end of each chapter. So we've enjoyed those.
Well, there's so much that's been written on this topic, and it seems to me that it's such a cluttered space of information. What would you say has just been so meaningful to you, just personally on this journey as you've read these two books?
I think it's been giving myself permission to know that I did not have to have a perfect life, that I did not have to only invite friends over when my house looked, like a showcase home, that it was inviting them in and saying, you know what, come gather with us, share your story. I want to hear your heart. Let's hear what's going on in your life. And so these two books woven together have brought about that.
And what would you say has, out of these two books, relates so deeply to what you really believe and are leading at chattydragonfly.com?
Well, Chatty Dragonfly is so much about connection. It's about me seeing your heart and you seeing my heart. And when gathering around the table is just one aspect of that. And I think that our readers are really going to enjoy knowing that there is kind of a practical application that can play out when reading those two books together.
Yeah. Well, we hope you've enjoyed today's short video on these two books, and if you'd like more information on these, you can go out to chattydragonfly.com. You'll see a write-up out there as well as the links for where you can go get your copies of these books. And we hope to see you again soon. Until then,
Just be.
Just be.